everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a get ready with me. I'm going to show you all the products I use to get a full face of makeup I wear to Disney when I'm out of the parks. So if you're interested, please keep watching. So I don't know if I've mentioned this on my channel before. I do live in Orlando, Florida, and I do have an annual pass to Disney, so I go a lot. Most of the time when my fiance and I go, which is very often, I don't usually like to wear makeup because living in Florida, it's very humid, I get sweaty, and I'm constantly wiping away sweat from my face and taking off foundation, taking off mascara, etc. But there are other times where it is very nice outside and I do want to have a fresh face on. Now this is no way a very minimal makeup look. This is a full face. I do have a lot of different layers on. It just looks like I'm more awake and not wearing a full glam face. So let's start with primer. I recommend having a primer with sunscreen. If you don't have one, I do recommend a face sunscreen. This is the Sport Coola Classic Sunscreen in the scent Fresh Mango. It looks like this. I love this stuff. I do have oily skin, so I don't like to put it all over my face, or too much I should say, because it does bring out the oils. But if I'm not wearing makeup for the day, I will go in with this. However, for the sake of this video, I'm going to go in with a primer I just started recently using and I love it so far. This is the Maybelline New Master Prime by Face Studio Primer, Blur and Illuminating, and it has SPF 30. Looks like this. It does, of course, say, like I mentioned, illuminate, so when you squirt it onto your hand, it does have a pearl glow to it, so it makes you look very awake. So I'm just going to apply that all over my face. It does have the scent of sunscreen, but I find that once I start blending it out and put any foundation or product on top of it, it does go away. And it's very smoothing. I really love this, and it seeps into the skin. I also don't feel the need to moisturize when using this because of how hydrating it really is. Okay, let that sink in a little bit. And now that we've primed, we're going to go in with our BB cream. I do not wear a foundation when I go out to the parks to Disney because I just feel like that's very heavy and it's going to get very cakey over time from sweating and my oils coming out. So I do recommend a BB cream. My holy grail is the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream for oily skin. I am in the shade 510. I picked mine up at Target, so if you are looking for this, I would check Target or CVS. Or maybe Ulta. I'm sure Ulta has it too. So I'm just going to squirt this onto the back of my hand. And a little bit goes a long way for this. And I'm going to take my e.l.f. foundation brush and just paint this on. I love this BB cream because it does give you a medium coverage, so it does even out your skin tone, but it's not going to get heavy at all. And when you set it with a powder, as I will show later, it does not make you look cakey whatsoever. Just going to squirt a little bit more because that did not cover the entire face. Do you guys like going to Disney? Have you ever been to Disney? Comment below, let me know. My favorite ride is Mine Train. However, my favorite Disney movie, fun fact, is Alice in Wonderland. Okay, put some on the neck so it blends out. Okay, now that we have that, I'm going to take my Real Techniques complexion sponge and blend it out. Now, as I mentioned, sometimes I don't wear makeup to Disney because I just feel like sometimes it's not necessary when I know that I'm going to sweat like crazy. But if I'm going with family or my fiance and I just want to take a lot of pictures, I do put makeup on. Now remember, fun fact, our primer does have SPF in it, so if you are taking pictures with flash photography, it's possible that you will get a white cast on your face because of the SPF. So if you're planning on going at night, of course you don't need sunscreen, but just be cautious if you do have sunscreen on your face and you're going to be taking flash photography. Okay, looks great. Now we're going to go in with concealer. Of course, I'm going in with my Holy Grail, the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Concealer. I am in the shade Fair Neutral. And again, I'm going to apply some into the inner corners here because I do have very dark circles. And an upside down triangle because you want to highlight. Some of you out there probably think I'm crazy for putting a full face of makeup on, going to the park, but I don't care. I want to live my life. I'm gonna do it. If you want to go full glam at the park, winged liner, falsies, lipstick, who's gonna stop you? Let Walt and Mickey know that you glammed up for them. You'll be looking great. Okay, blend the last of this out. All right, now we are done with the liquids. So since we are going to be outside, you want to make sure that everything is set. I have normal skin in areas outside of my T-zone, so I don't normally set that area. But again, for the sake of going to Disney and this video, I'm going to set my entire face, and I'm going to use the Rimmel London Stay Matte Long Lasting Pressed Powder. Give this video a thumbs up if you remember this stuff. This was a holy grail back in the day. This is probably one of the first makeup products I ever bought. So I'm going to take my Eco Tools powder brush, and I'm going to powder the entire face. And I'm going to take my e.l.f. under eye setting brush and set my concealer. Run some of that on your lid just to set the concealer that we put on. And I'm gonna set around my nose for a very precise setting. And I'm just gonna go over one more time with my powder brush. And we have the base set. Now, the next part is completely up to you. I am going to add bronzer, blush, highlighter, etc. But if you just want to leave it like this, throw some mascara on and maybe some chapstick, you'll be good to go. But for those of us who want a little bit more definition, I'm going to go in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and my Sephora Airbrush Blush Brush. I think I mentioned this brush in my last video. I'm obsessed. So, just going to carve out the cheekbones. Nothing too dramatic. Look at that. I'm looking in the viewfinder. Chiseled. Oh, love it. This bronzer, I literally cannot. I am so fair, but this gives me just the best chisel. And this brush just helps me blend it out so well. Let's add a little bit to the forehead just to give me an even skin tone here. And why not? Let's do some on the neck. Okay, next I'm going to go in with blush. Of course, I have my Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in the shade Exposed. I do recommend these blushes for literally anything that you're doing in your life. But for Disney especially, because I find that when I come home late at night, my blush is still probably the only thing left on my face. I'm not the biggest fan of blush either, but this color just blends into the contour so well that I ain't mad about it. Woo, beautiful. Now, going back to the bronzer, before we finish the face, I'm just going to take a fluffy crease brush, get some on my brush, and just put this into the crease of the eye. I don't do a full-on eyeshadow look when going to Disney. Mostly, as I mentioned before, I'll be wiping some of the sweat away. But this just gives a little bit of definition to the eyes and doesn't look like I just have stark white eyelids because we have the concealer on them. This brings a little bit of shape and definition to them and just makes it look like we tried a little bit. Which we did, but nobody knows. And you can run a little bit of that on the lower lash line if you wish. Okay. Now we're going to go in with some highlighter. Of course, we need to glow to the gods here. So I'm going to take my Morphe M441 and apply some champagne pop. Now, I like to apply a good amount of highlighter if I'm going to Disney during the day because the sun will pick up that glow and just make us shine bright like a diamond in my nose. Now I'm looking a little bit splotchy here, so I'm going to take my Real Techniques blush brush and blend that all out. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with some MAC Fix Plus and just spray my face before applying mascara because the mascara I'm going to use is actually not waterproof, which it should be. Next, I'm going to go in with some MAC Fix Plus and spray my face before I apply mascara. I just find that I like to set my face first before applying the mascara so it doesn't transfer onto my lids. This doesn't take away from the powder, it sets the powder. So of course I will still be set when I am going out and about. Just fan that off. And the last step for this very easy park makeup look is mascara. I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. I've recently been loving this. I know this is a very popular item on YouTube and I decided to just bite the bullet and try it. It was only $6. So we're going to apply this. This is so beautiful and it makes my eyelashes so voluminous and it actually gives length too. Oh, got a little bit on my face. We'll just, if you ever get mascara on your eyelid or your face, don't wipe it away right away. It's going to smear. Actually, I would let it dry until you're finished with whatever you're doing in your makeup routine. Get a Q-tip and just rub it right off. And that way you won't take away from the foundation, concealer, or powder that you've already applied. Okay, let's do the lower lashes here. Just looking to see if you're still in the camera or if you're just looking at the top of my head here. And that is the finished look. So I have my Ariel ears, thanks to a friend. So yeah, this is the final makeup look. This is everything that I wear when I'm going out into the parks. It is a full face, as I mentioned before, but it's very easy to achieve and you will look very flawless in photos. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!